Hi, friends. Today I get to interview my friend Maureen, and this is a really fun conversation because Maureen she has so much amazing energy. She has so much beautiful, fun energy. And so we kind of go all over the place. I love her backstory because it's so unusual. So I think that'll be fun to unpack and to listen to for people. And she also has this really amazing project that she is about to leash onto the world. It's called Soul Star Mapping, and it's a chat GPT that combines astrology and human design. And so we nerd out on that a little bit. So we do talk a lot about astrology and human design because that's how we met, that's how we connected, and that's what her work is based in. So if you're into that, cool, you'll be able to ride along with us. If you're not into that and you get lost, feel free to ask questions in the comments or shoot either of us a DM and let us know. But yeah, enjoy this one. She has amazing fun energy, and I think it's going to be a good one. Thanks, y'all. Hi, friends. Welcome to the Full Heart Podcast. I'm so excited you're here. My name's Rebecca, of course, and today I'm joined by my friend Maureen. I'm so excited to talk to Maureen. Like, we've known each other for a couple years now, and we've already had a super fun, laughing conversation. So this is going to be such a good one for y'all. Welcome, Maureen.
I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We actually had a podcast to record. As soon as I start, I see you. It's like that. God, you,
I
God, you, God.
I know. Same. It's like immediate in. So I was like trying to make a mental note of like make sure that we actually record the
Right.
conversation.
Hit record. Whatever you do, hit record. Same.
So this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun for me too because we haven't really gotten to explore certain aspects that I want to ask you about.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's going to be fun for me to kind of learn about you a little bit more. And
Yeah.
I'm especially excited because I feel like you have such an interesting trajectory to where you got now. So it'll be fun to unpack that. But first, I want to start with little Maureen. I'm asking everybody just like, what was your childhood like? How did you grow up?
Mhm.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, it was the 1900s.
Back in the last
back,
century.
back in the last century. Born in 1979. I'm the child of the 80s. I am the eldest daughter. I
Mm,
have a younger brother who's, my Irish twin. He's a little less than a year and a half years younger than me. I was raised by a single mom. I sometimes saw my dad, sometimes I didn't. My mother worked full time.
okay.
Her idea of showing love was the fact that we had a roof over our head and that
Mm,
there was food on our table and we had clothes on our backs. Um, my busha, my grandma, were Polish, started living with us probably like when I was 8 or 9. And she lived with us until she passed away. And it was I don't even know how to say, it's so funny because I immediately want to go into my busha was a Libra. This is how wild this is, right? So my busha, my grandma, was a 0 degrees Libra sun. My mother is a 0 degrees Capricorn sun. I am a 28-degree Aries sun. There is a lot. And my poor brother is a Virgo. He has these 3 very, very cardinal, very go-getting women in his life. And he's just sitting there like, shit.
He's like,
It was
well, guys.
yeah, it was a really interesting childhood. There was never any love, like never I love you. We don't do that,
Mm,
right? We don't talk about that. Like I said, my mom showed her love by the things that she did for us. Like my grandmother cooked for us while my mother was at work. It was our responsibility to have good grades and all of the things, and that was it. There was never like, I cannot remember, and I shouldn't say never because I can't remember everything in my childhood. Emotions were not allowed. Like, I remember how many times, like, wanting to cry, but knowing that I was going to get yelled at if I cried.
wow.
Like, why are
Okay.
you crying? I'll give you something to cry about if you want to cry. Go in your room and then come back. Like all of those type of things. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Kind
I
of.
don't think it was terrible. I feel like we were probably like lower middle class.
Yeah.
My mom did try to get me to a Catholic school in high school. I was able to do that for 2 years, but really it was just about like it was the hustle. My mom would take us to work on the weekends when she was a manager, and she would take me and my brother. She was an accounting manager. She would take me and my
Wow.
brother on the weekends. My brother would go with this gentleman Cornelius to like do all these manly things because my mom worked for a parking company. And I would sit next to my mother and learn accounting, and she would have me working as she was working. So like that kind of like ingrained like work, 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 work. That's the only way you're going to get ahead. Good job. And yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that was the child.
Oh, okay. So, of course, since I'm a single mom, I'm fascinated by your mom being a single mom in the 80s because that just seems terrible. And it makes sense to me that she could only really show love by providing
Mhm.
because in that time, it was hard enough for a woman to get in the door and to make enough money to survive, let alone take care of the whole family by herself.
Yeah. And my dad wasn't paying child support.
Mm.
So,
Am I-
you know.
So, okay. So then you kind of grew up with this work, work, work ethic, like you were saying, and you're seeing your
Oh yeah.
mom work so hard.
Mhm.
So what did you start doing once you started being able to work? Like, did you really ingrain that in yourself? And like, I have to work and save money and do all this.
Oh
Like,
my
how
God.
did that show up?
100%.
Yeah.
One, like, my mother told me on my 16th birthday that I had to have a job. That was it. That nothing like school and you had to have a job. And in high school, I was a 3-sport athlete. So
Yeah.
I would have to be very mindful about like doing my sports, my athletics, but then also having to maintain a job and maintaining good grades. Like that was my job was to be that honor roll student, that AP student and have the job. And then if I had enough time, do the sports as well.
Oh,
And, in my mind, my brother, my younger brother, he barely scraped by, like barely. And everybody was overjoyed when he passed, on to the next grade. And then I get a B and it was like, how
and,
dare you? How dare you? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? But yeah,
yeah.
it's been, I don't know how to not work. Like I know it sounds kind of weird, but yeah, it was just like, yeah, absolutely. That's it.
No, that makes sense. And then you add in the eldest daughter, like you were saying.
Oh yeah.
Like, how many women our age can totally relate to being the A student, like, doing all the things,
Hmm.
getting the grades, like, keeping up, trying to do all of it, and then not even really getting acknowledged for it, and then totally burning out.
Yeah, my mistakes were amplified and my compliments were like, well, of course I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. But,
Yeah.
you get caught for curfew and it's the end of the world. Like, what? Yeah, good
Oh, the
times.
80s and 90s, you gotta love them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've got it like how wild that was. Like, my mom used to be able to write a note, give me $2, and I would walk 4 blocks to the 7-Eleven to get her a pack of Benson and Hedges cigarettes. I was like 7 or 8 years old. I'm just handing a note. It's the 80s. They're like, okay, obviously
They're
she's
like,
not writing in
"Sure."
cursive, so this is legit. It's fun.
Just handing a seven-year-old a pack of cigarettes, like, yeah,
I
obviously.
had a note. I had a note.
Like, seriously, the way the world has changed so much is insane to think about sometimes.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Because then we flash forward, like, my kids, when we lived in Little Rock, I lived literally across the street from my school, or from the boys' elementary school,
Yeah.
and so there's a playground there, right? But I was terrified for them to go across the street without me there because I was so scared some adult was gonna freak out and think that I had abandoned my kids because of I mean, but I have, like, direct stories of
Uh-huh.
similar things happening.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I can't just say, "Go play across the street while I get some stuff done in the house." But you could walk down, like, 4 blocks
Oh my
with
god,
a
100%.
note and get cigarettes.
Yeah, like, as long as I was home by when the street lights came on, like,
Yeah.
that I don't know if it was I wonder if this was, like, a rule for everybody.
Yeah,
The
basically.
rule was, you're home by the street lights, and for every 5 minutes I was late, I was grounded 1 day.
Wow.
Those were the rules. Even if I was
Okay.
just down the street, like, shooting hoops with my neighbor, Rusty Morella, like, when I was a kid, even though I was in the backyard, like,
Shout out
in the
to Ru
alley, Playing horse, if I was not in my house, every 5 minutes was a day.
Ooh.
My mom also had a Virgo moon, okay? So, like, there were rules, man, there were rules.
You gotta follow those rules. Oh my gosh. Okay, so then you grow up, you graduate.
Yes,
Did you go to college? What was
I
your next
did.
move?
Oh my gosh. I went to the University of Illinois at Chicago. I majored in criminal justice with a minor in psychology. I was also right after I went to high school, I was still working at the parking company that my mom was working at, and at the age of 18, I was offered a full-time customer service position for $30,000 a year,
No.
and that was 1996.
Yeah, that's pretty
$30,000 was like for an 18-year-old, I was like, "Sign me up. Sign me up, I don't care." Like, I was like, "I got this money."
like, I'm rich now.
Like, nothing can hold me back. So, I was actually very fortunate because I did go to college full time and I worked full time. They worked around my schedule because it was customer service.
Wow,
So, I
okay.
was very, very lucky.
That's
I was
fun.
part of the 401k. Like, as soon as I was 18, my mother, bless her soul, because she was like, "You're putting money in this because you never want to be dependent on anybody else." And I was like,
Mm.
"But I'm only 18. I'm not gonna retire until I'm, like, 70. Why is this gonna matter?" Spoiler alert, it totally mattered. Like, thank you so much for being that mom.
The mom who got abandoned and just had a whole bunch of financial trauma was
Mhm.
right.
Yeah. Yes. And then I also, like, after college, I got my paralegal certificate because I was like, I'm going to work for a law firm that is going to pay me to travel all over the world. And it's going to be so wonderful because I'm going to win all of these cases for all, like, there was a lot of Delulu happening. And
Yeah.
that's okay. I was 18, I was 19, I was under the age of 21. Like, of course. Turns out that paralegals at the time only made like 15 grand, and I was like, absolutely not. So at the ripe after 2000 hit, in 2005, I decided that I didn't like my life anymore, and the Chicago Police Department was hiring, and I was like, how hard could that be?
Well, let's do it.
So, like, I've shot a gun before, like, how hard can this be? They
Yeah.
start out at $35,000, and then in 7 like, what, in a year and a half, you were up to 72 grand. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, what do you need from me?
You're like, "I'm good."
I'm like, I can solve people's problems. I
Yeah,
can do that. You can pay, like, I was 25 years old,
right.
25, 26 years old, right? Like, and at the time, I was pretty heavy, and I was like, "You know what? I can use this to lose weight. I can lose weight because I have to go to the police academy." I wasn't worried about the academics because I had a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Like, I was
Right.
like, "What are you gonna ask me that I don't know? Like, this is not that hard." I've been working in customer service for years. Like, I was really not concerned. Like, and it took about a year and a half, and yeah, I was a police officer until, 2022
Yeah.
when, things happen.
Okay.
Um
So what happened? What's this change? Because I know okay, here's the interesting part, like I was saying in the beginning, listening, it's like, okay, so Maureen's a police officer. No, things switched.
No, no,
So
yeah, things
tell us about
change.
that switch and what you're doing now.
So the switch actually starts in 2020, if we're gonna be honest. In 2016, my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, and I became her primary caregiver. And we went through a lot. It had metastasized into her brain. It was a lot. And in 2020, we were told that my mother's cancer was gone. She was in remission. And I was like, finally, like, after 4 years, you can, like, that sigh that, "Okay, okay, good," right? Well, that was not the case. Oh, and hold on, I'm about to, like, cough. Okay. In May of 2020, my mother went into the hospital because she was having a problem breathing because she recently got asthma, magically, at the age of 71. Got asthma, pardon me. Oh, I still don't like this story no matter how many times I tell it.
Yeah.
And she went in, and 10 days later, she was gone.
Wow.
And it turned out that her cancer was not in remission. It had actually taken over her entire system. and her lungs and all of her organs, and it wasn't asthma. And she very unexpectedly passed away. It sucked for like a million reasons.
Yeah.
But the hardest part for me was not being able to be there because it was during the time where people were not allowed in the
Oh.
hospital.
Mm.
And this woman, ooh, that I had cared for, that had loved me so much, had to die alone. And that sucked. That sucked. And then 5 months later, my dog died. And after that, I was like, I can't be in this city anymore. It literally made me feel like the city was trying to kill me because no matter what, on the job, no matter how many times somebody would talk shit, they would say, "I'm gonna take your job. I'm gonna get you fired." I'd be like, "Dude, you can do whatever you want. You can call me whatever names you want. As long as I have my mom and my dog, I don't care. I don't. I don't care."
Wow.
And 2020 was like, "Joke's on you." And after that, I started making a plan to leave the city. I knew that I wouldn't get a pension until 2026 because that would be 20 years. And I was like, "Okay, girl, you just got to do it. Just for a couple more years, 4 more years, you can find a place inside, just hide. Hide for 4 years, then retire. Just get out of this city. Make it out of this city alive." And then I wound up getting into a car accident and having the first ever surgery of my life, and wound up being for 8 months. I had knee surgery. I was laid up for 8 months, and during that time was when I couldn't move. I literally had to sit with myself, and that is an incredibly uncomfortable place to be when you are so used to just shoving everything down, drinking, and then going to work and fixing other people's problems. And now it was like, no, there's no drinking. There's no going any like I literally had to sit with myself. And it was the most uncomfortable experience because you can't get away from yourself. Like you can't. And I had to start looking inward and it was unpleasant. And I just realized that I could not continue to be that. I was no longer the person I thought I was. And around March of 2022, I got a letter from the police department rejecting my religious exemption, saying that if I did not get vaccinated, I was going to lose my job. And I can still remember where I was when I read that email. Oh my God, like I can still remember it. I could feel the heat in my body, and all I heard was, "It's time to go to Sedona."
Uh,
And I have I don't know if you can see the goosebumps, but, like, I have the like, they're all and I was like, "Oh, shit," because I had never heard the truth so loudly inside of myself, inside of my heart. That's where it felt that it came from, and there was no questioning it. Like, literally, I was like, "Oh, okay." By May of 2022, my house was up for sale. In August 15th of 2022, I retired from the police department. On August 21st, I was in Sedona with my dogs,
wow.
and I have never looked back. It was a wild ride, and now that I am where I am, I see how every single thing had to be done the way that it was. I see that the death of my mother was a point for me. It wasn't just for me. It wasn't like I felt so bad about it. Like I didn't have enough time. I wasn't there, all of these things.
Mhm.
And I realized that before we were even on this earthly plane together in this life, that my mother and I made that decision that she would go before me so that I could become who I needed to be for myself and for the evolution of my soul. And that is like literally the only thing that comforts me because I can't remember if you have had that experience, but losing a parent, especially one that you are close to, there are no words to describe the pain. Like, I cannot even you have to go through it, and there's nothing that anybody else can do that can save you from that pain that you have to walk through. The only thing we can do is be there when you get out of it, but it is an immensely painful experience, and to see good come out of it is just like it's my silver lining.
Absolutely, and it's horrible that those kind of things have to happen in this world and in this lifetime. But like you said, there's always seems to be a deeper soul connection to it
Mhm.
all. And
Yeah.
I can't help but wonder if your mom was like the one pushing you to Sedona.
Oh,
From
I'm sure.
like, girl.
Yeah. I swear I have a better relationship with her now. Like, now that she is in spirit, but yeah, I know that she's always here. I know that she is, and I know that while she may not understand what I do, and sometimes even I don't, that it's okay.
It is. It is. And okay, so I just want to acknowledge too, like much it must have taken in you to walk away from this career that you had, like a
Mhm.
solid career
Yeah.
for 15 over 15 years,
It was 16,
16.
I know. People thought I was stupid for leaving 4 years. I
I'm
literally got
sure.
no pension.
I'm sure. Yeah, to walk away 4 years ahead of time. But this is the kind of thing, these are the kind of stories I love to hear though, because it's like you would still be there. Like
Mhm.
2026 is just a couple days away.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how much your soul would have gone through. Like, there's sometimes your soul is like, "I don't care about money. This is killing me." End of story.
Yeah, it I remember being a kid and just saying, "I was born in Chicago and I'll die in Chicago. There's a reason I was born here." And I didn't even like the outdoors. And as I got older, when, like, when all of this stuff happened, it was just like, "No, I'm done. I refuse to stay here when I feel so energetically unloved." Like,
Mhm.
I had friends, I had family, but I said, "No, it's this is no lo this it no longer felt good to be here." And for me to have found Sedona, like, I was a tourist for years before I moved here, and I remember driving in the first time, seeing Bell Rock, and immediately knowing that I was going to live here one day,
Wow.
and it just yeah, I am so, so grateful for all of the bumps and bruises and missteps and all of the things that we never wish, all the challenges, man, if I could go back to that Maureen and be like, "Girl, it's gonna be fine, don't worry about it." I wish I could, because we think we're so devastated, and really, it's all building. These were all building blocks for Soul Star. That's
Yes.
all this was, and I
Yes.
didn't see it. When I was going through it, you're like, "This'll never end, this is terrible. Who do I" all this stuff, but man, then you realize and it hits you that everything just perfectly aligned without you realizing it, and now you're here, like, that makes me smile so hard, because it's just like, it reminds me that every single day is worth living, because even if I don't find worth in living today, there is something that future Maureen is going to get from today's Maureen. I just don't know it now, and that
Yes.
really helps.
That's a beautiful sentiment, and I'm glad you pointed that out too, because this is a huge reason why I wanna share women's stories and why I ask you to start from the beginning. Because I know for me personally, when I was in the midst of some really dark times and people would say, "Everything works out exactly how it's supposed to," like, you just wanna punch someone in the face when they say
Oh
that.
my in the throat.
Right. In the directly in the throat and then in the gut.
Yes.
Like, "Do not talk to me."
Mhm,
Because you're in the thick of it and it sucks, and I'm just now starting to see the same thing for myself. I'm just
mhm.
starting to be able to say, "Okay, I'm seeing the pieces fall into place now," and getting out of that kind of survival mode. And so that's just to really reach out to anybody listening who is feeling funky about stuff or feeling lost, like to lean into the trust and to trust
Yeah.
yourself and to trust your soul, just like you did. Like you went deep into trust. Like, okay, I'm going to quit my police officer job in the big city of Chicago and go hang out in Sedona. And I don't know what I'm doing yet, but that's just what's happening. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now I look back at it, as like, "What the hell? Well, that was a six-figure salary you just said goodbye to." But at that time, girl, you could not tell me anything different.
Mm-mm.
I was like, I don't know what I am going to do in Sedona, but I heard that voice and I just knew. And
Yeah,
I
it's just
knew.
time.
And when I got here, was it all rainbows and unicorns and puppies and all? Absolutely not. Absolutely.
So what happened? Did you just completely crash when you got there?
Yeah. Yeah. I had, so before this, before, 2022, like I knew about human design and I played with it and I was learning about the gene keys and I had for years studied astrology, right? So I I was like, okay, well maybe I'll just do something like that here. Like it's Sedona, of course, right?
Right.
Girl, when I got here, it was like my body knew where we were and my body was exhausted.
Mhm.
And then my brain was like, "Oh shit, what did we just do?" And I was like, "What do you mean what did we just do?" Literally talking to myself like, "You literally just told me to move here, bro." Like, what do you mean? I it took me it took me about 6 months to allow the decompression to actually start because when I got here, like I knew it was going to be good, but also I was scared shitless because like I literally didn't have a job. All I had was my inheritance and I had the money that the police department had owed me because they had to pay me out for my PTO and my vacation days. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I for the first time realized that I was slipping into depression. That there were days where I would lay in my bed and not want to get up and not like where I would ask like where did my like lust for life go? Because I could my body couldn't move, my brain wanted to there was so much disconnect that I needed that time alone, which I had never given myself. When I lived in Chicago, my friends were there, my family was there, I had my dogs, I had my mom, I had my job.
Right.
Here, I knew one person and I had my dogs. And again, I had put myself in this place of like this chrysalis, right? Like this transformational and I didn't know what to do. So I started this is going to sound so weird, but I had to teach myself how to feel
Wow.
because I had pushed down so much
That's I know.
pain, so much guilt, so much depression, so much sadness from the people that I had lost when I was on the department. Like I knew a lot of people that passed away not only, from the work, but at their own hand because of the work. I had a partner on January 1st decide that this life was no longer worth living, and that was hard. And I came here and this house that I still live in and I'm still renting, this was the way I see it in my head, it's like a crib. I was literally allowing myself to die and be reborn again. And it is wild to leave a place that you have known for 42 years and everything that you know to come someplace that you know that your heart wants you to be, but you don't know what direction to go. So you have to surrender for the first time in your life. I surrender in my brain was always a weakness. And even now it's so like God, it's like surrender is the most beautiful thing, but you have to go through the pain of learning that first. And I really feel like those first 6 months here was me learning that emotions are okay, that, you know, emotions can go up and down. You don't always have to be down, like good things can happen. I can feel it's okay.
Mhm.
And I know that sounds probably really weird, but I grew such an armor trying not to
Yeah.
feel that to remove it took for me, like it felt like it took a really long time to scrape off all of that armor and really allow myself to feel all of those feelings that I would not allow myself to as a police officer.
Mhm.
And now it was learning to feel and allowing myself to cry. I never allowed myself to cry. I cry like every day now,
Yeah.
like every
Oh
day.
my
I'm
god.
like,
I
thank God.
I was just talking to a friend about this yesterday, about how, like, growing up, her parents were like, "No, don't cry," and I was like,
Mhm.
"Crying's good."
God, no.
Like, that's what you gotta do. But, okay, so this is making so much sense to me, though, with your armor and, like, how much you had,
Mhm.
like, enmeshed yourself in it. Growing up with a single mom who had to shut down things too, because she
Yeah.
had to survive, and then learning so early, you gotta work, you gotta take care of yourself, you gotta do these things.
Mhm.
So you kinda took that on. And then now I can see too, like you were saying, it's like then with your mom leaving, then it gives you space to
Yeah.
really listen to yourself for the first time ever in your life. So
Mhm.
it makes sense that that would take a little bit of time and that it would be really difficult.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. Like what a gift. And some people are scared to do that for themselves. So it's amazing that you gave yourself that. That's huge. So it's so fascinating knowing what you do now, like to see how all of this is coming into play because
Yeah.
now you have this amazing project called Soul Star Mapping
Yes,
that
ma'am.
has been so fun. Like I hear you talk about it online and we've talked about it in text and everything, and you have kindly let me play with it. So I'm excited to dig into it. Because you just get so excited about this.
Because it's the coolest thing I've ever done.
So tell us about this Soul Star mapping that you're doing now.
Yes. So the past 3 years that I have been an entrepreneur have not been the easiest. I
Mhm.
have, like, literally 0 business knowledge. Like, all I knew for 16 years was that you called me, you told me your problem, I fixed it, and I went away. So, like, it has been a journey in entrepreneurism, however you say that, right? When I started, remember my first offer was this offer called The Key, because as soon as I learned about human design and gene keys, all of a sudden my brain was like, this goes with astrology.
Yeah.
Like it just made sense in my brain. I just ever, after that, it was always blending them. Key was me talking to you about your astrology, then talking to you about your human design, and then giving you your life's work and blending that into your whole entire chart. I did that for a while, and then I found human design shadow work, which, oh my god, so fucking good. So
Mm.
good. I learned so much. I love it. Like, let me get in to the gritty, like that depth and very scorpionic, like I want to know. I want to know all of the secrets and all of the things in the dark. I want to bring it all to light, right? I was like, oh my God, this is the shit right here. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to teach people about their shadow work because this is amazing. And just with my little, generator energy, I'm like, everybody needs this. And I tried to do that, and then that didn't work. Like, I mean, it worked, but, like, it's really hard to convince people to look at the ugliness, like, the things that they perceive are ugly. Like, it's really hard to be like, "Listen, I know it's gonna suck at first, but I promise you it's gonna be so much better once you cry." People are like, "Yeah, that's cool. I'll call you later." I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. We're living in a shit show. Why would I pay you to give me more shit show? Like,
Oh,
and
yes, yes, exactly. Okay, okay. I just want to sit with it for a second because it's hitting me when you're talking about the human design shadow work. First of all, I love that that's where you went and that's what lit you up. And I'm so glad that people do that because just like with a lot of spiritual spaces, it can be a little toxically
Mhm.
positive or like surface level. And it's like, I mean, just like your story you just told, you had to go through the depths to come out the other side. That's just part of the process. And so the
Yeah,
shadow work really is so important, but the people have to be ready. You have to wait for them to come to you. So
exactly. I mean, I don't know if it maybe like it wasn't the right time. So eventually what happened is here, because I live in a touristy town, I also do tarot. So I had contracted out at a couple of the hotels here. Well, I started getting more tarot work. And as I'm getting more tarot work, I'm starting to channel things. And it's when I'm in these groups and I'm hearing things and I'm smelling things, I'm seeing people's dead relatives. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Okay, listen, I told you I was doing shadow work. Like, what is all of this? Right? And I was like, "Oh my god, I need to figure this out. I need to figure this out because this is real weird." I mean, it was weird to me, right?
Well, yeah.
Because I wasn't prepared. Like, I had this idea in my defined head and ajna, this is what I was gonna do. So why are you fucking with me and doing all these other things? And it gets to the point where I have a one particular ancestor that is continuing to come to me over and over again for their person that is still here that I am an acquaintance of. And it scared the shit out of me, but I wound up telling this person what I was told. And the first 3 or 4 times, like, I was so accurate. They were like, "How do you know this?" I was like, "I don't know, dude. I'm just the messenger, okay?" And it's weird, right? And I realized I wind up having to give this person a very, like, shit or get off the pot message.
Oh,
And they did not take it very well, and they wound up never speaking to me again. And during this time, I was like, that ancestor kept coming to me, and I kept having more and more of these experiences. And I was like, I need to find somebody to help me with this because
mm,
I clearly cannot control this myself. And I want to be able to empower my clients because that's what my brain went right there. I'm like, if I can control if I can control the spirit world, then I can help my clients. I don't know where these things come from. This is how my brain works. I was like, this is going to be great. I'm
yeah,
going to find somebody, I'm going to find a mentor. They're going to teach me how to control this clairvoyance. And then I can do that. And then I can get my shadow work clients and I can help them like mend their relationships with their dearly departed. And it's going to be so great. This is good. Oh my God, it's going to be great for the world, right? In my mind, this is going to be amazing.
yeah.
It did not happen. Shocked and
Never mind.
appalled. Like, I don't even know, like, why do I even make plans anymore? Do I even make plans? I wind up finding my mentor. Her name is Laura Warren. She's an amazing psychic medium. Our first meeting, I tell her about this issue with this acquaintance of mine. And she literally says, "Welcome to mediumship, where the first rule is that you cannot take things personally.
Yeah,
You had a contract with this person to deliver this message. It is none of your business how this person reacts to the message that you gave. Your contract with this person is complete. The more you think about it, all you're doing is weighing yourself down." And I don't know why, but it just like clicked in my head. I like, things, but sometimes I feel like when the right person tells you that thing, it just always it, like, unlocks something, and I remember having that session and then going out into my backyard to do my daily walking meditation,
mm,
and I am just filled with this immense gratitude that this woman, like, unlocked something in my brain. I'm just like, "Oh my god, this is amazing, finally," and I'm outside and I close my eyes and I see the galaxy. And normally when I close my eyes, I just see pitch black, right?
right.
So for me to see the galaxy, I was like, what is going on? I'm like, maybe this is the gratitude. Like, I'm so full of gratitude and love right now. Maybe this is what this is, right? As I start seeing this, I then see the zodiac wheel, the astrology wheel, and all 12 of the houses are just bright neon and they're glowing. And then I start seeing all of this sacred geometry. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What is this? I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Okay. And then,
Just gonna go with it.
yeah, why not? Right? I live in Sedona. Weird shit happens all the time, right?
Right.
And then I hear this voice telling me that the collective has been shortchanging themselves and that we have been given all of this ancient wisdom in these modalities. And instead of using them together, we as a collective have separated them, thus taking away the power that they hold when you combine them. And then in my mind, I literally see puzzle pieces like inching together and I'm like, this is cool now. This is cool. And I'm just seeing just the zodiac, like the chart, and I'm seeing these points and they're glowing and they're making these shapes. And I'm like, what is this? And it just like fully downloaded into me. And that is the best way I can describe it. But it was like this is the time. You've been preparing for this. It is time to combine these things so that people can access the power within themselves. Like,
Mhm.
we look at astrology and we look at the planets, right? What's the first thing people ask in astrology? What are your big three, right?
Yeah.
Sun, moon, rising. There's so much more to
Mhm.
astrology than the planets. When we look at human design, so many people want to love human design, but it's can be crunchy. The way that Ra explains it, right? He
Yeah.
was the messenger. He was the first. And
Mhm.
it came through a 5-1 manifester. Like, it's not going to be
Yes.
pretty.
Yes, this is what I tell people, and his sun sign was gate 51. I'm like, "He is not
Aries.
here to be kind
Hello.
words, like, at all."
And I was just like, it just hit me. And it was the best way I could, like, I just knew. I
Mm.
just knew that, like, it was time to really take an active role in blending these modalities along with shadow work into something that people could actually use. And I had my phone on me and I was literally in Voxer and I didn't realize it, but I had taken my phone out and I had started typing in the points that I saw that were glowing and I started playing with them. And they're formulas. They're literal formulas to show you where to access different power points in your birth chart.
Wow.
I have 17 of them that have channeled through.
I know it's like every time I talk to you, you're like, "Oh, guess what? Something else is
There's
happening. I'll
more.
talk to you now about it."
It's like it just keeps coming. And I did not believe, I was like, who am I to be giving this out into the world? Like, I'm just Maureen, right? Like, what the fuck do I do? And I was like, hey, dum dum, how about you actually just play with what you've been given? And I was like, like, okay. And holy shit, every formula that I was drawn to, there was a lesson in there. Like, I was like, how did I not think of this before? It was crazy. Even just the origins map, just looking at your astrology chart based on the houses and not the planets is a completely different meaning. It's actually, honestly, I think it's more powerful because in
Oh,
every there is not one person I know that has a planet in every single house,
right.
right? So what are we supposed to do with empty houses? There's power, there's magic.
I know people get weird about it, but,
There's
like,
so much magic, girl. Oh my God, it gets so exciting. There's so much magic in the houses. And then we can use different houses for different things in different formulas. And
mhm,
then you can use, oh my God, I could literally talk to you. I know we joked like 5 hours, not even
yeah,
shitting you. I could
yeah.
absolutely do that.
We'll just
Like,
have to have multiple episodes.
oh my God. And then when you think about it, like, you think about the beauty of the gene keys and how they were able to take human design and elevate it into 3 levels of frequency, right? Why can't we do that with everything? Why are we only allowed to do planets? There are asteroids, there are points of fate. Like, we use the nodes, those don't really exist. But then we're also supposed to believe, Ra, that these are the only girl. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right,
there's
right, right.
no way that you can say that we are all 64 gates and then say, well, only some of them are activated in this that I gave you in the 90s, and you're not allowed to do anything with it anymore. There's no fucking way.
Well,
There's no
okay.
fucking way.
And honestly, like, I listened to a lot of Ra lectures, and I don't believe he ever was trying to be, like, the messiah of human
Mm.
design. I think it's very classic 5-1. People were like, "Oh my gosh, well, Ra said it, so that's the law, blah, 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 blah." It's like, "No, actually, like, he told you constantly, like, 'Don't believe anything I say. Do
Yeah,
like, experiment
do
for
it yourself.
yourself.'" And so that's what I love, and then, like, combining it okay, I wanna talk about the origins map like you were talking about just real quick for a
Yes.
second, because again, you
Yes,
let me
ma'am.
play with this so that we could, like, really dig in, which
Yes.
thank you so much. Also because of my 3 line, it's like, "Let me break it."
Oh, girl, please. I want you to. Like, I
So
love it. I am down. I am down for this.
yes, yes, it's been fun. It's been fun, but I just wanna okay, because I was kind of blown away when you first explained that because okay multiple questions are coming through.
Yes, ma'am.
One, I'm gonna explain how I understood it real quick so you can
Okay.
make sure that I'm understanding it, and then I wanna ask you about house systems because this is a question I have a lot. So, basically, the way you explain it and the way I was understanding it is, like, we look at right where the beginning of your each house is
Mhm.
and the angle of that, and then, of course, that correlates to a human design gate, and so
Yes.
then you can really get an understanding of the archetype of your house. So, like, 2nd house, money, of course, this is something I've been kind of pondering for a while
Mhm.
because I've had a hard time with money, and so I just wanna read the little affirmation. I was like, "Give me an affirmation for each house."
Yes, ma'am.
So, my 2nd house, Pisces, archetype 55.
Woo, girl!
It says, "My value does not rise and fall with emotion. It settles when I trust myself." And I've just been sitting with that for a while because I'm like, okay, I'm finally just now in a spot where I'm starting to trust myself. Kind of like you, I'm doing things that sound crazy to other people,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Yes.
This is what's happening. And so
Mm.
this just has helped me so much where I'm like, okay, I just got to continue to trust myself. And I have not been able to because of all these things, but then it's unpacking it like, the way that it's explaining the other aspects, it's starting to help me understand even more of why like, it's putting words to what I have felt, but I haven't been able to put words to, which is really, really cool. So, I love that. I'm excited for other people to explore. And I wanted to ask too,
Yes,
okay, about the
ma'am.
house systems,
Yes.
because people talk about Placidius and they talk
Mhm.
about whole sign,
Yeah.
and everybody has their own theories.
100%.
And sometimes I love the whole sign because it makes sense to me. Like again, Virgo sun, Cap moon, Cap rising, right? So I'm
Mhm.
like, everything fits. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
But I also get the Placidius because I'm like, well, that's the exact capture of the
Yeah.
moment.
Mhm.
But then I get overwhelmed. Like, why are there multiple things? And what do I listen to?
So, your question is what?
My question is, which you operate under Placidius, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So why do you choose Placidius over whole sign?
So it's a person to me, it's always been a personal decision. When
Mhm.
I started learning about astrology, that's all I knew. That was that was in the books, like Linda Goodman, in
Mhm.
all of the book before the pre-internet. What? Dewey Decimal System? What? But that was how I was taught, and what I have come to find, and this is my own personal experience, is that with whole sign, I find that that's easier for the collective. You are doing, like, everybody, like, people who do daily horoscopes are doing it for the collective,
Right.
right? Plus, I can never say it right. I always say placidius, I can never say, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
For me, non-perfection of, a house can be little, a house can be big, you can have intercepted houses, you can have all of this, like, the range for me feels correct.
Mhm.
Because if I am doing whole sign, like, for me, it would be 9 degrees Leo. So every 9 degrees is going to be a different house. And to me, I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Like, I I kind of, like, I want the chaos. I want the
Okay.
chaos of and my son is in gate 3. That's the shadow, I know, but I feel like there is something so much more fun about playing with the size of the houses. Now, can you do an origins map and whole house? Absolutely. Percent, right? I just personally feel like it resonates more when I do it when the houses aren't the exact 30 degrees.
Mhm. No, and I really appreciate that because again, like in my mind, the Placidius feels like the exact snapshot. Like this is what's happening, and then the whole sign just kind of organizes it a little bit, like you said, for the collective, or maybe it's like let's just switch it over here so we can kind of tell the story just a little bit more
Mhm.
plainly, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, but it's really interesting. So I was just curious your thoughts
Oh,
on
yeah.
that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Because also, okay, the other thing I noticed when I was doing this based on your instructions and I was looking at everything, it totally skips Aquarius and Leo for me.
Really? Oh, well,
Yeah.
is your astrology, is it those houses might be intercepted.
What is that?
So what that means is that you might start a house in Capricorn, And that house is so big that it takes up more than the 30 degrees. So it could start at like maybe 28 degrees Capricorn, and
Mhm,
then it will go until like 1 degree Pisces. So
mhm.
that Aquarius is in there because that house is so big. So that's why it'll skip. It won't. And I have that too. I have a couple of houses that they start, I think what is it, my fourth house? Fifth? I can't remember. But yes, sometimes they're not going to be in order. It could just be that those houses consume the entire area, Leo Aquarius for you.
Yeah, it looks like my Cap and Cancer are big, like
There
because
you
my Cap 12th house is at 0 degrees, 1st house is 20, and then
see.
Cancer 6th house 0 degrees, and 7th house 25. So
Hmm.
it just kinda takes over.
Yeah. And that sometimes happens when the house ends at a later degree.
Mm,
It'll take up that whole rest of that zodiac sign, the next zodiac sign.
okay. But then, like, the
Your brain?
Virgo brain doesn't like it.
100%. It's weird because it's not like if you're so used to whole house and every house having a astrological ruler that is one after the other, of course it's going to be different when this house system is, skipping the
Yeah.
Aquarius Leo energy.
Yes, but that's why I like how you were calling it out because then we're going a step further and looking at the human design aspect of it
Yes.
as well. And it's interesting for me too because like my first house, like the ascendant right there
Mhm.
is right next to my moon. My moon is like on it. So then to be able to talk about those like what's happening there and then how that kind
Mhm.
of flavors that whole first house.
So is your moon in the 12th house or is it in the first house?
What does it say on here?
Is it above your ascendant or below it when you take a look? Are you looking at your wheel?
I'm looking at my list right now of the houses. Hold on, I can't hold on. Hold on. In my list of the planetary positions, it says
Okay.
house, and then I have my chart right here. It's like but see, on this chart that I'm looking at, it's like right above it.
So then that's the 12th house. So what degree is your moon?
My moon is 24 degrees.
And your ascendant is at 25, right?
Yes.
So your moon is in the 12th house. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be like, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Did you type that in there? Did you tell them that your moon, the soul star, that your moon, what came out?
I don't remember. I've asked it so many questions.
It would be interesting. I would love to invite you to ask it, like, how does my moon in the 12th in this gate affect my first house? Because they're so close. Like,
Mhm.
are they the same gate? I'm sure they are because
Yeah,
they're a degree
they're the same
apart.
way. Yeah.
Like, how oh my god, that right there is some
Okay.
juiciness.
Okay, can I ask it right now? Let's just ask it right now and
I
I'll
don't
read
care.
it.
Girl,
Okay.
this is your podcast.
Okay. So wait.
I would ask it, how would I say this? How does having my moon in the 12th house in whatever the gate is, the first house, how do those affect each other? Because I bet you it's something there. Sometimes my words aren't as good, but I feel like it'll know what you mean.
Yeah, I know I wasn't quite sure how to ask it either, but I just
I ask it the weirdest shit. Like, sometimes it's like, I don't know what you mean, but like 90% of the time, it's like, I got you.
so I basically said what you said. It's like, how does having my moon in the 12th house in the same gate 61, they're both gate 61,
Mhm.
conjunct my ascendant affect each other? Okay, the core truth. Having your ascendant in gate 61 and your moon in the 12th house in gate 61 means you don't just move through mystery, you are emotionally regulated by it.
Ooh.
Not understanding is not your problem, trying to escape not understanding is. And so that one really fascinates me, and this is, like, a core theme of my whole chart basically, is, like, I'm just kinda meant to sit in the not understanding of it and to just be with it, and then to kinda collect information and share what I learn after I integrate it.
What you can do next too is
Uh-huh.
ask, how does being a 1-3 your mental?
Yes.
Like, how can I use this as a 1-3 mental projector.
There
I'm sorry. I'm like, now I'm like, I am so invested in this conversation right now. Tell me
I
all
know,
the things.
I know. Okay. How the Ascendant 61 functions. Your Ascendant describes how you meet life and how life meets you. So it says, I face the world aware that something essential has not yet revealed itself. This is so fascinating to me. And because I feel like that's how I kind of approach a lot of things from like, what else is happening?
Hmm.
And then how the moon in the 12th house functions. Your moon says, I feel safe when I'm not required to resolve the mystery, which is beautiful. So, what this creates, how they affect each other, this creates you cannot separate identity from inner truth. Emotional
Mm.
safety requires identity honesty. That's true. Pressure to figure things out hits twice, once at the identity level and again at the emotional level. Solitude restores both at once. The
I
mature.
could tell you like 10 different questions to ask right now. I am like, this is so fun for me.
How can I use this as a one mental projector with fear motivation
Ooh,
and the 1156
I love it.
Okay, and real quick, it's talking about like that combination with my moon and ascendant. It like really makes me a good witness for others. It's like a people
Ooh,
feel safe around me because I can emotionally hold space for the unknown.
I like that.
So that's fun. Okay. The core truth of your configuration as a 1-3 mental projector with fear motivation, gate 61 prominence, and the 1156 channel, your role is not to produce clarity. Your role is to host meaning until it ripens, then tell the story of what emerged. That's it. Everything else is discussion.
Well, what do you think?
Because the 1156, this is what it keeps telling me is like this channel speaks best after experience has been metabolized.
Hmm.
So it really needs to go through the experience and then speak from the experience,
Yeah,
which is
especially
interesting.
too, because
What?
you have an undefined root center too.
Mhm,
Like you could literally now ask it because I know you're just up top, right?
mhm.
Or yeah, you can literally then, if you're curious about it, how does having an undefined root center affect this? And what I've been doing, because I'm a weirdo, is I'm asking it questions and then asking about my root center. And then I told it what activations I had in my root center and
Mhm.
to kind of loop all of these things together with that pressure because that's the root center's physical pressure.
Right.
So to
Okay.
kind of bring all of the physical and emotional, because the first house is how people see you basically physically for that first time. So you have that root center, that pressure. It just, yeah. Does it make sense? Because it does in my brain. Okay.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
this is how you get lost in the sauce.
I just kept asking it stuff. I'm like, I'm just gonna see what happens.
Why not? This is the best
Yes.
way you get to learn about yourself.
I know, and it's been I know I texted you when I first started, I was like, "I've been in here 20 minutes, it's made me cry 3 times."
Yeah. It makes me cry every single fucking time.
Yes, it's so cool, and so, I even asked it about my kids some things,
Nice.
and that was really
Yeah.
fun.
And you can put your chart in. You can actually upload your chart
Yes.
into the prompt and say, I don't know anything, please help me. And it will literally break down the foundational information for human design. And then you can begin that process. I have prompts for beginner, intermediate, and advanced level in human design for the bots that I have created. Like, there's so much fun and so much potency in learning about all of this because there's not one human design book that is going to tell you that shit.
No, like, not in this way and be able to integrate these things, like, you've
Yeah.
gotta figure out how to put it all together for yourself, which not everybody is designed to do or cares to do.
Hmm.
So, that's what's great about this, you can put it all in. Okay, so I asked it like and I added the gates like you said, like, how does having an undefined root center with gates 60, 52, and 41 affect this? And so it's putting it all together, the core dynamic, let's see, undefined root, says all these things. Yes. Your wisdom comes when you accept. Mutation only happens when the pressure is ripe, not when you demand it. Of course, that's gate 60. And then gate
Hmm.
52, the gate of stillness. Yeah, having that stillness. 841 is beginnings.
Chloe, girlfriend, you are not that hungry. You just ate. Sorry.
How this all interacts with your design. Okay, yeah, I mean, hold on, it's telling me a whole bunch of stuff. So this
I
is
know,
just
right?
like, here's all the things. Okay, look, the integrated truth. Okay, when we put it all together, your system says pressure is not my fuel, timing is. Stillness is not avoidance, it's alignment.
Oh.
Beginnings must be earned emotionally, not imagined mentally. And I love that. I also asked it earlier to condense my origins map into one sentence.
Damn.
Yeah. So
God, I'm almost afraid.
it's
I've
so
never even done that, but I like where you're headed.
I was like, "Give me just a sentence I can hit with for to integrate all this," and it's like, okay, it said, "I move at the pace of truth,
Ooh,
speak only from what has settled, choose alignment over endurance, and trust that what lasts will also support me."
I like that.
I thought that was pretty beautiful, yeah. So yeah, I loved the way like, whatever magic you put into this.
Years and years of notes. I am not a journaler, but for some reason, and now of course it's like, duh, Maureen. When I first like met the Gene Keys, I just started writing down notes.
Mhm.
Like, I went through all of the gates and I walked the wheel. Like, I've walked the wheel twice, and I've consistently kept notes on what it was teaching me, and then, like, holy shit, no wonder I've been doing that, because here's soul star mapping. It wasn't for instantly downloadable reports like I thought it was going to be.
No.
Seriously, like, that's what I thought it was for. I know you helped me on that project.
Yeah, yeah, and
Girl,
it's a great project, it's a great thing for
yeah,
people.
I had, like, 4 people buy it. Like, that was it. And now, of course, now it's 2025, and I'm realizing, holy shit, it actually wasn't for these downloadable reports. This what I was literally building soul star mapping all these years without realizing it.
Mhm,
I was like, and now it makes sense
mhm.
because, yeah, it's just like, "Oh, okay, I get it now. I get it, why I was doing all of that." So, yeah.
Yes,
It's so fun.
yes. So again, just another example of like, okay, this is why it's all coming together. And then
Exactly.
for you to have this, and then you have other bots. So this is basically a chat GPT. I don't think we explained this before because we got excited, but this is basically a chat GPT that you programmed and
Yes.
and then people can put in all their human design astrology questions.
Mhm.
I even asked it astrocartography questions because I was curious. So just yeah, it'll dig into all this stuff and help you really integrate and to tell the story of your energy, which is what people really want when they're exploring human design and astrology.
100%. Yeah. And I pride myself on being able to explain these concepts in
Mhm,
a way that you understand.
mhm.
Because that was one of the biggest issues I had with human design is the way that it is presented. And I know that energy, like words have frequency. I get it.
Yes.
And I also believe that people are ready to hear and really work with human design in a way that is more personal
Yeah.
instead of, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't go ahead. Keep going. Go ahead,
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I just you no, you're so right because I think everything the way that human design has come into the world has been so fascinating,
Mhm.
but again, it's not the '80s, like, the '80s were really dense energy, and we kinda needed
Yeah.
an entitled white man to bring it to the world. That's really the only person that people would listen to in the '80s, let's be honest. So,
Yeah.
he did his job, and he did a great job, and now so much is shifting and changing, and we're coming to 2027.
Yeah.
2027 has been the talk of human design since
All of the things, yeah.
and yeah, and you look at astrology, you look at numerology, like there's all these things, Chinese zodiac, everything is pointing to our entire world is ending and everything new is coming into place.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's really cool to look at. And so, of course, the way we interact with human design is going to be completely different because this
Mhm.
kind of technology was not even conceived of in the
Right?
80s. And to be able, I am firmly under the belief that human design wants to have its own relationship with everybody. So the way that
Mhm.
you interacted is going to be different than the way somebody else interacts with it. And
Yes.
so this really enhances that personal connection to it, I feel like.
100%. Like, that is always it's just been my goal. Like, I human design and learning it through source material and from the internet and from shadow work, that completely changed my life and how I view myself. And if I can do that for somebody and help them change their life, like, I'm fucking winning, man. Like, I'm winning. This is pretty beautiful.
Yes. Okay.
This is it.
That's the perfect segue because I wanna make sure that I ask you, what does success mean to you right now? Because I feel like you just hit on it.
I was just about to say, like, that is success for me right now is not only giving myself grace in my own work, but to really see people enjoying the work that I put out into the world. For people to have an aha moment and go, "Oh, I never realized this." Or, "Wait a minute, that's not just me. I'm designed that way." Yeah, there is so much beauty in every single person's birth. There is so much power in that. And if I can get you to just see your power, if I can get you to see you the way I see you, that to me is success. And I see people through that lens and that beauty of who they are. Nobody is perfect. I am far from fucking perfect, let me tell you, okay? But you gotta be able to laugh and you gotta be able to be like, "You know what? It's not all perfect, but it's me."
Yeah.
And if I can get people to do that and to feel that even just one day, I'm good. Like,
Uh,
life is beautiful.
yeah.
As much of a dumpster fire as it is right now, when you think about it, there's something beautiful in your life that you can be grateful for today,
Absolutely.
and that's all we need.
Absolutely. And to have that affirmation within to help people really trust themselves even more deeply is so huge. Like this is such a gift for that.
Mhm.
Because that's really where we're going, I feel like in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
And you were talking about like just being grateful for what you have in this life. And I'm curious to know what kind of support systems have been in place for you as you've built this because you made a huge change moving across the country
I
and
did.
changing your whole career and changing your whole life. And I see successful people doing what they love and they're not doing it alone. Nobody's doing this stuff alone. So
Mhm.
like what kind of support have you had in this whole process?
Well, my 2 dogs. I don't think I can go without mentioning how much I love my dogs, and they are there. But really and truly, I have found, like, I have some really amazing friends,
Mm,
and I am probably not the easiest person to be friends with because there are times where I just go ghost. I'm a 2-4, right?
right.
Like sometimes I just don't want to talk to anybody, but I jump back in with the right people and they love me. Like no matter how horrible a person I think I am in my brain, right?
Mhm.
I and I only have like 3 really solid, good, like, friends that I know that I can speak anything to, but man, knowing that
That's
is huge, especially because I live in a place where I literally knew 1 person,
mhm.
and I think for the mental side of it, the adjustment from a policing career to, I guess a spiritual career, I do use cannabis as part of a ritual for me. It has absolutely helped me have more grace with myself when
That's
those emotions come up. I'm not nearly as judgmental of myself when the yucky bits come up and I move through things and feel things. It has given me the perspective of like it's all love. Like that's all I want. Like it's all love. You made a mistake. It's okay. Right? Like for me, like I I love the ritual of it and the expansiveness that it gives me. And I feel like I'm just a better person. And I'm also, I know I feel like you too. There's so many of us that are going through perimenopause right now.
yes.
And that is no joke. And quite frankly, I truly do believe that cannabis has helped that like
Same.
thing that is happening.
Yep. Yep.
There's a point in time in my day, every single day, where it's like, I'm done now. All right, let me give back to myself. Let me sort all of this out without this nasty judgment in my head. And I feel that I probably should be a little bit more crazy, but I have instituted these things in my life to support me. And it can be scary saying that out loud in public, but I also am a really shitty liar. So
Yeah.
I couldn't lie to you. But it does it has brought me a lot of comfort and help when I needed it the most with my own mental health,
Mhm.
and I that is I will say that forever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because you're reminding me when I was finishing my degree, it was in speech communication. We all had to give speeches like all the time. And one
Yeah.
guy, his persuasive speech was why cannabis should be legalized. And it was
Mhm.
specifically for cancer. That was his,
Yeah.
because that was his personal connection. But he really brought up some good points. And ever since then, I'm like, dude, why do we have such a problem with this?
I tell my friends that are still the police, I was like, "You know what? If cannabis was legal and y'all couldn't drink, life would be so much easier. You imbibe in cannabis. You don't wanna do nothing. I wanna sit on my couch, listen to comedy, and eat some munchies. I'm not trying to have an argument. I'm not trying to drive nowhere.
No.
Just leave me alone." Could you imagine? Like, that would be so comfortable. Like, oh my god, a little
Right?
nap and some snackies?
I
Yeah, sign me
mean,
up. Sign me
yes,
up.
yes, that sounds great.
I'm just saying it would be a lot easy I think it would take a lot of mental stress off first responders if they could.
Gosh, yeah, I can't imagine being a first responder.
Yeah,
Okay, and I love how there was a point that you were saying it's all love, and, like,
it's all
it
love.
really is, and that's what I've really learned too, is, like, everything comes back to love, everything.
Mhm,
If we can just sit in that and allow ourselves that, it can change so much, and that's really a huge part of my mission at Full Heart, and the reason why I call it Full Heart, because when you fill
mhm.
your heart so full of love, it overflows, then it
Yeah.
connects to other people and helps them to do the same, and that's how we heal the world one full heart at a time. So I'm curious if there's anything else, because you've shared so much goodness with us. Like, is there anything else that just really fills your heart so full of love? I feel like your puppies, like, of course.
Oh my god. What fills my heart with love? When somebody gives me their birth information, especially attractive men. You know, man, I just, I love laughing.
Mm,
I love my dog. I am definitely a different person than I was, like, post Maureen,
um,
right?
yeah.
Life is so much different when you're a civilian. Like, when you move from law enforcement to being a civilian and you see things, man, we all take shit way too seriously. And for me, joy is about laughter and love and connection and flow.
Mm,
Let me give of myself and my gifts and my heart so that you can see the beauty in you, and then you can do that for somebody else. And we can all be individual, but be one at the same time.
that's beautiful. Be
That's
individual and be one at the same time, because that's what it is. That's what it
yeah.
is.
And especially in 2026, gate 25, literally the gate of the innocent heart, is in Saturn and in Neptune this year. Like,
Oh,
that is such a gate 25, and that innocence and that love is such a huge theme next year. And when we can start loving ourselves, it literally pours out of us,
exactly. Exactly.
shows other people. It's like a light bright. Once you are lit up, you literally help other people light themselves up. And before you know it,
Yes.
you have a whole panoramic, light bright view of just like beauty and happiness and passion and joy. What?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, and it's like that's why I wanna do this podcast too, is to share the stories so that, because I feel like it's so healing when someone shares their stories. It's healing for the person telling it. It's hearing for the person hearing it, because you
Yeah.
start to understand that you're not actually alone in this, and
Yeah.
you're not crazy. Like, you're okay, and we're
Yeah.
all individuals, but the same. We're all connected, and it's so important for you to love yourself so much. Imagine how different this world would be if people actually loved themselves instead of trying to
Yeah.
separate everybody and create divisiveness. That's nonsense. There's no such thing as divisiveness. We're all
I
here
agree.
together.
Yeah.
My gosh. Thank you for this beautiful conversation, Marie.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I love talking to you.
Okay, tell the people where they can find you and what you got going on. Of course, soul's
Oh my gosh.
fundraising, but tell us what you got going on.
Okay. So hopefully I'll remember. So I make things easy. All social media, I am Maureen Webb, one word.
Mm.
That's it. And let's see. I have the Soul Star Mapping memberships. I also have a standalone bot called the Lunar Way. if anybody is interested in their lunar returns. I do have a 2026 guidebook that goes through all of the transits. Venus, Mercury, all the Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, and then all of the new and full moons. I broke all of that down.
Mhm.
And that's fun. Integration sessions, and just come find me. I think, wait, do I have a YouTube channel too? I don't even know all this stuff. I do. I have a YouTube channel. It's for soul star mapping. Oh my God. There's just a lot. There's a lot in this
I
brain, man.
know, you're doing so much and you've got all these bots going, so definitely find her on Instagram because you also share a lot in your stories, and so
I
keep
do.
up with everything there.
And I love a good funny reel, and I poke
You make
fun.
the
Like,
best reels.
I just did the 12 zodiac signs for 2026, and I picked a
Mhm.
reel for each one. Oh my God, the most fun I've had. Like, it was so fun picking out reels. It was so
Yes,
fun.
yes.
Yeah.
You have a knack for that, for sure. They're always my favorite.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's fun. Come by, say hi, shoot the shit, ask me a question. I don't mind. I have a link tree, all the things. Just
Yeah,
ask. I love answering
yeah.
questions. You know that, Rebecca. Like,
Yeah,
oh my God, ask me
yeah.
a question about your human design, please. Do you have 3 hours?
Voice note, voice note, voice note, like,
I
just get
can't.
ready, it'll be great.
It's oh my God.
But that's my favorite thing, yes, yes, and then being able to dig into this, oh my gosh, yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing your gifts. Thank you for sharing this
You're so
story.
welcome.
I'm so excited to hear how people resonate with it, and
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Well, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.